feel something slap me on the side of the face, and it was a static line. And that man took off out of the aircraft. And when he did, it snapped my neck.
You think that was an assassination attempt?
I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that it was. It's that same guy who cut me out of the door. Hands me a note. It said, thinking of you. He's like, hey, sorry about your loss, buddy. I've already been JMPI kitted out for a combat jump. Got the full pack. Got the 1950s weapons case dangling. And I was the first man in the stick. They gave us, told us the 30-second sign. We're all hooked up and ready to go. The jump master's got his arm up, getting ready to hit me in the back. And then we see shuffling, and I'm only one of 12 guys that I jump with every time. It never deviated, no change. That was my team. It didn't matter if it was Conus, O'Conus. Those were my guys, only 12. And a guy from the back shuffles his way to the front, and it's one of the escorts. He is unmistakable. You can't. I mean,
really?
You know.
Yeah.
And at first, it just didn't connect with me. It just, I just gave him a, hey, how you doing? And he just winked at me. As soon as that jump master's arm came up and the green light's getting ready to go off, no sooner than it hit and I felt his arm coming down, I feel something slap me on the side of the face, and it was a static line. And that man took off out of the aircraft. And when he did, it snapped my neck. And it pulled me out upside down, deployed my combat gear. Long story short, had a complete oscillation, and I just smacked the ground, and I woke up a month later. Career's over. And I'll tell you something else.
Do you mean you burned in?
Yeah.
Your chute didn't.
Oh, my chute.
What happened?
My chute deployed. But whenever I fell out of the aircraft, and I think maybe we were jumping from 800 feet, if I had to guess, that's what it looked like from the horizon. But whenever he hit me going out of the aircraft, and the static line went taut, and it snapped my neck, and I fell out of the craft. I'm not even sure how I fell out, but it deployed my lowering line on the way out. So whenever my canopy did open, it just started a complete oscillation.
Okay.
I remember looking down and seeing daylight, and just smack, and it was over.
You think that was an assassination attempt?
I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that it was. And the only reason I tell you that is because when my father died, not even a week after I buried that man, I'm at our new house at the beach. Nobody knew I'd been there. I hadn't even changed my driver's license over. I hadn't even told the VA that's where I'm living. Not even a week after that man was buried, I get a knock at the door. It's that same guy who cut me out of the door. Hands me a note. It said, thinking of you. He's like, hey, sorry about your loss, buddy. What would you do? And Dr. Greer asked me, he said, well, did you feel like they were trying to intimidate you or they're trying to hurt you? Absolutely not. If that was the case, I would have never seen it coming. To me, it just felt like somebody looking you dead in the eye and said, I can touch you anytime I want. And then everything started flooding back, and that's what led us to here. I wrote out that entire story to Dr. Greer.
You fell out, and it was a week after you buried your old man, you said? Or the day after? I'm sorry.
Whenever he showed up?
Yes.
That was a week after I buried my father at Rudy Maris Cemetery in Dublin, North Carolina. Nobody knew I was there. Nobody.
So this is 2021.
Yes.
Just a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And this happened, when was the accident? When was the assassination attempt?
2011, 2012.
Did you recognize him
I've got it written down everywhere. It's so hard to remember. That's when I got this.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it's just been fuzzy. And that's what led us to this. That scared me so damn bad that I had decided I wasn't suicidal. Please don't get me wrong. I was not depressed. I just felt like at that point, that it's not about me. I've got my children. If something happens to them, it's my fault. So I figured if I quietly recuse myself, who's going to know better? What's it going to matter? My story's over. Get to see my dad again. And hopefully save my kids from this bullshit. Because everything changes. It's one thing when you lose your brothers. It's one thing when you lose your family. But if you worried about losing your children, that's taking it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
You know, just because we choose to be peaceful at this point in our lives does not mean that we forgot how to be violent. I'll take the whole damn world down to protect those kids. And I know you would do the same for yours.
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.